So, welcome to Obviously Sports. We have had a long hiatus, but we're back. Nathan and I are here to talk about the upcoming NBA Finals. So,
Yes.
here's what happens. I'll be minding my business. Nathan comes to me and calls me to start talking about pick a topic. And it's normally sports related or it could be current affairs. And he was about to go in on me about the Knicks versus the Spurs. And I said, hold it, wait. I said, let's record it. And so he's been brewing for a few days now. And I'm sure he's ready to get it all out. So, Nathan, I yield the floor to you. Um, you were asking me, who do I have?
I was about
Okay,
to say, the
let's
first part
continue.
was a question to you.
All
Who
right.
do you have winning the NBA Finals?
Okay. I am rooting. I've decided that I'm going to root for the Knicks. I think I'm like 51-49. I'm going to root for the Knicks because it's been so long for them. I like Towns, as you know. Um, Even though as a Bulls fan, the Knicks were a rival, but I also had respect for the Knicks. So I'm rooting for the Knicks. I don't care if Wemby wins. I like him, as you know. I think he's a good face of the NBA, but he's young. He got more opportunity. So that's a long answer to your question.
So you're rooting for the Knicks.
I'm rooting for the Knicks.
Who you think is going to win?
Oh man. Um I really don't know. I need to watch a game or two. Okay, but if you made me, if you forced me, who do I think is going
If
to
you
win?
had $500 free dollars to put on one of the teams right now to win the NBA Finals, which one are you putting it on? And you have to do it in the next 15 seconds.
I probably would put it on. I probably would put it on the. I'll put it on the Knicks. I'm just gonna go all in Knicks. Okay, I'm gonna say Knicks. I'm not gonna be wishy washy.
Right.
Yeah.
Own it.
Yeah, I'm gonna own the Knicks. Okay, who do you have? And tell me why.
The Knicks done. Like
Oh, wow.
I think okay.
So definitive.
It's okay. It's not simple, but I've thought about it because I've had time to think about it. And a lot of people were talking about with Wemby, who's going to stop Wemby because Cat's not doing that, and it's going to be Mitchell Robinson. And then people were like, well, if you put Mitchell Robinson on the floor, then Wemby can help on defense, and that's free. That's free eats for Wemby. He's going to get blocks all day. But I just think about the Spurs lineup, and you could take any of these five people: De'Aaron Fox, Devin Vassell, Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, Wembanyama, and Champagny. Those are their six guys that's usually in the rotation. And only one of them is 6'9" plus, and it's Victor Wembanyama.
I kind of felt like that too. I kind of felt like they were a little undersized.
Yeah, and so
but Mitchell Robinson is hurt also.
Yes, for now. And I don't know how long. They said it's undetermined.
But you ain't trying to tell me that Mitchell Robinson is going to be the Wemby stopper. Ain't nobody believing
Mitchell Robinson, hold up. Mitchell Robinson is not the Wemby stopper, but he is their Wemby stopper. Like if somebody said, Ryan, how are you going to stop a 16-wheeler coming straight at you? And I say a brick wall, and you go, a brick wall ain't stopping a 16-wheeler. Well, I'm sorry, man. I didn't want to put my pool out there, like a little pool floaty. Like I'm putting something out there that can at least attempt to stop it.
He got 6 fouls. Mitchell Robinson does. So
what?
So that's what his contribution is going to be to Wemby, using his fouls, because there ain't nothing else he can do to stop him.
You speaking of Wemby like he is Jesus Shuttlesworth, man.
I'm speaking of Wemby like he's Wemby.
You speaking of him like he the Monstars in Space Jam.
Okay, so we both got the Knicks. Is the Knicks a sentimental favorite for you, or do you legitimately feel like on paper, based on stats, that's who you see winning?
Wemby, as great as he has been on defense, his consistency on offense has been wishy-washy. He's had games where he puts up 19, and he has games where he puts up 36. And the Knicks haven't had that problem with Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson's averaged like 28 in the playoffs. He has stayed up there and doesn't really come under that. And Karl Anthony Towns has been a big playmaker for them in the playoffs, now averaging 6 assists a game. That's huge. And with Wemby, if Wemby's guarding Cat being able to pass now is going to really help them, because Wemby has to decide, am I going to stay on Karl Anthony Towns because he's a threat shooting and in the post, or am I going to kind of stay off of him a little bit and kind of linger towards him passing? But if he does that, then that leaves Cat open for mid-ranges and other things. I think it's going to be very interesting. And I also think my X factor, OG Anunoby, fourth best player in this series. It goes Jalen Brunson, Victor Wembanyama, 1A, 1B for the playoffs for me, and then Karl Anthony Towns, and then it goes OG Anunoby at 4. Not Stephon Castle, not De'Aaron Fox. It's OG Anunoby.
Why is it OG? Are you saying that because he's a sentimental because he's on your fantasy team?
That's not important. OG Anunoby's defense. Okay, we're actually just playing games. OG Anunoby's fantastic defense is going to be huge when it comes to stopping De'Aaron Fox or Stephon Castle, their offensive guards. And then his offense, his corner threes is going to be huge for the Knicks, because think about this: Stephon Castle, fantastic at defense. Devin Vassell, very good at defense. And then Victor Wembanyama, an amazing defender.
Okay, Nathan. You got this game going how many? This series going how many games?
7.
7? Okay. Yeah. At the end of the day, I like both teams. So 7-game series works for me, because we get to maximize the fun and the energy. Okay. Can we move to a different subject?
What's that?
First of all, before I was about to go to football because some trades just happened. Do you have any insight or care into the Stanley Cup finals? So I saw that the Vegas.
I don't know who won. Let me see who won tonight. It was 3-3 when I last looked at it.
Okay, so it was the Vegas Golden Knights and the
Knights won. The Knights won.
Okay, so you're not going for Vegas.
No, I'm rooting for the Hurricanes. I really like Seth Jarvis.
Okay, so I don't have a.
The Hurricanes had only lost 1 game leading up to this, and this is their 2nd loss in the postseason. They swept the Avalanche. That was really impressive. I'm rooting for the Hurricanes, but if they don't win,
Why do you think it's been in hockey that these expansion teams have done so well so quickly? Because this is like the 3rd Stanley Cup Finals for Vegas, and it feels like some more established teams can't even barely make the playoffs. Here they are.
I think it's because hockey is kind of interesting. First of all, with hockey, draft picks are very different, because you can take people straight out of high school and they can just kind of like the MLB, and they kind of just sit there and they do other things, and then they come into the NHL. And so I think I'm not 100%
like a farm system.
Yeah, I think with the expansion draft, they were allowed to take people's prospects.
Oh.
And so I think they took a lot of the top prospects and they just came to the NHL like Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews and were just good off rip.
Okay. Well, we'll have to investigate that a little bit more. All right. Last topic that I wanted to talk about. There was a trade in the NFL, 2 trades. A.J. Brown going to the Patriots, and Garrett going to
Garrett of Miles going to the Rams.
Myles Garrett going to the Rams. And I know you feel like the Rams gave up a load to get Myles Garrett. Talk about it.
He did give up a load. That's not up for debate. It's just whether or not the load was worth it.
Okay. Or a haul, or whatever they call it. A haul. Okay.
That's funny.
Yeah. Talk. Okay. Why do you not feel? I mean, here's Myles Garrett. Did he break the sack record? I believe he did. Defensive Player of the Year. Some could say he's arguably, if he was on a better team, could be in talks of league MVP. And putting him into the category of like the Minister of Defense, Reggie White. So if you're getting that caliber of player, is it worth it? And the Rams are looking at a small window.
I think
they got Stafford for like
2 years.
2 years.
Here's the problem.
All right, what's the problem?
The Rams traded for Trent McDuffie, who's getting $30 million. Matthew Stafford is getting $60 million, and Myles Garrett is getting $40 million. That's $130 million between three people.
Okay.
Puka Nacua is coming to the end of his contract, and they do not have the cap space for him. They are not going to have the cap space for him unless they trade and get rid of some of these older people with big contracts. And so I think that the Rams are, because Puka Nacua's contract is up after this year, they're really looking to capitalize on this year when Nacua is still on his rookie deal.
But can't they franchise him after his rookie deal?
You think Puka Nacua is going to do that when he can get Jackson Smith and Jigba money? $140 million?
Okay, we have to, but so when you get franchised the first time, you don't have a say-so in that.
Has he been franchised?
No, because he's still on his rookie deal. Look it up. How does the rules work with your rookie deal and then being able to be franchised? I think they can franchise you for 2 years, and then after that,
Puka is currently playing out his final year of his rookie deal, earning a base salary of $5,767,000. He is not eligible to become an unrestricted free agent or receive the franchise tag until 2027. How would his franchise tag work?
See, we got old school, versus modern day looking up, which is cool.
And you know what's interesting though?
What's that?
And this happened with T. Higgins. He might just hold out. You can franchise tag a guy, but you can't force him to play.
That's true, but he's who wants to be a headache like that?
He would eventually tag, which pays him the average of the top 5 salaries at the wide receiver position. They don't have enough for that.
They'll just be over the salary cap, and then
cost will be 30 to 35 million. They can't. They don't have enough money for that.
They'll just pay a luxury tax.
Yeah, they're going to pay a luxury tax and then not be able to retain the man. Because
so you're looking at it from a general management standpoint of how this puts them more into a bind as far as future moves are concerned. But as far as that short window goes, do you think getting Myles Garrett? Okay. Well, here's what you have to look at, Nathan. They were already in the NFC Championship against the Seahawks this past year. So, I mean, their goal is to get to the Super Bowl. So they didn't make a move that's going to have them to regress. Adding him can only help them to be better.
I know. And all I'm thinking about is, okay, you guys were just in the NFC Championship. Great. You get Myles Garrett. You're in win now mode. I think about who's in the NFC. And I just think about their division alone, the Seahawks and the Niners right now. I don't see them being a clear cut for being first, even second in the division. And so to me, even with Myles Garrett, they don't seem to be like, I don't know how Seattle's going to look without Kenneth Walker, without Kobe Bryant, so on and so forth. They've lost a lot of people, so I'd have to see them play. But the Niners really haven't lost anything. And so even with Myles Garrett, I'm going to be honest, I don't necessarily feel –
you putting the Niners over the Rams?
I don't necessarily feel like the Rams.
What did the Niners do last year?
11-6.
Well, who did they lose to?
Man, you think I got the playoffs memorized like this?
Yeah, you normally do. But I'm just saying, like, what? Just because, I mean, if this is the lore of the Niners, like, they're not so invincible and they're not so dominating. Like,
okay.
I don't.
The Niners lost to the Eagles. The Rams also almost – okay, let's not forget about this. You want to talk about how the Niners lost to the Eagles. The Rams won by the skin of their teeth to the Panthers. We're not going to breeze by that like that didn't happen.
Okay, but then
so any team can lose to any team. True. And when I think about Myles Garrett and I think about how much they're giving up for him, and okay, if they had a larger window to do this in, I wouldn't be upset about it because you can, as things progress, Myles Garrett adapts to the system, blah, blah, blah. But to bank on this for one, maximum 2 seasons, it's very difficult to do that, especially because I think the NFC is not weak right now. Like,
Okay.
if it was like, I think about the NFC 2 years ago, the NFC 2 years ago was pretty weak. Now it doesn't feel that way.
Okay. What do you think about AJ Brown going to the Patriots?
I think that it was the right move for both teams because you got to capitalize on Drake May's rise, and not wait too long to get him some help. And you have Travion Henderson, who hopefully will do nothing but progress. And then you look at how Drake May performed last year. His best receiver was Stephon Diggs' old self and Hunter Henry regressing self.
Diggs had a decent season with them.
Yes, but the problem is Stephon Diggs is your best receiver for a sophomore Drake May Super Bowl contention.
Right.
Like, when I think about the Super Bowl contenders of the past years, you have AJ Brown on a team, you had Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp, Travis Kelce. Like, you think about these names and you're like, okay, yeah, those were elite players.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think about the Patriots and I'm like, I just don't see that. And then I think about, okay, think back as far as even the Buccaneers when they had Mike Evans. I'm taking Mike Evans over Stephon Diggs, and I'm also thinking about the fact that they had Tom Brady. So it's like when you have Drake May, and they had that fantastic defense that really helped them to get there because they had some ugly playoff wins, but their defense carried them. Drake May needs some help because he can't keep passing to Duvernay.
Okay. All right. Okay. I hear you. Okay. Well, what about on the Eagles side of things? Like,
I think it was great because AJ Brown did a lot of complaining while in Philly, when things didn't go his way, when he didn't get the ball as much as he wanted, all those things and the such. And the Eagles also drafted a rookie receiver from USC in Mekhi Lemon, and I think that he's going to be great. Devontae Smith can hopefully have the breakout that they're looking for him to have to become a number one. Hopefully he can, fill what they want. They want him to take another leap this year, looking to make him their number one guy. And when I think about the Eagles, they have Saquon and Jalen Hurts, and they're a very run-heavy team.
Yeah.
And so I think that getting rid of that big weight of a contract and a personality that comes from AJ Brown, it lets them do more of what they want to do and not feel like they have to cater to AJ Brown in any way, shape, or form. Because Devontae Smith is never going to complain. Dallas Goedert is never going to complain. Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley are never going to complain about how the offense is run. AJ Brown will complain how the offense is run. And if the Eagles franchise feels like running the ball is what's going to win us games, and AJ Brown's complaining, I want to get the ball more, that puts them in a weird situation, and now they don't have to deal with that anymore. So I feel like they can feel more free, and they also get a first-round pick out of it, and they can do whatever they want with that.
Oh, they got a first. Okay.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, I definitely think the chemistry in the locker room on the field matters, and every person on the team has a role, and nobody's role is greater or smaller than the next person, because even though we know that they pay quarterbacks the most, but a quarterback can't do what they do if they don't have an O-line blocking for them, if they don't have the receivers catching the ball, etc., and so on. So I do agree, for whatever reason, it went south for AJ. He was disgruntled. He didn't want to be there. And, publicly he'll say that's not the case. I don't know why these players, put stuff out there, and then when it come back to them, they act like it wasn't me. I don't know what y'all talking about. I think just be honest and then wait for it to move on. I think pretending like I'm not really upset, y'all making something out of nothing, and then here it was, he did want to be traded. So if not anything, I think it's just good for it to be done and over with, so that both parties can move on, and so fantasy owners can be released from this uncertainty
Forget that. I just didn't want to hear it get dragged on like Aaron Rodgers did. Oh my
I
gosh.
mean,
I
yeah,
was
it's
so
dragging on,
tired
but I'm
of
sorry.
hearing
I
it.
had AJ Brown on like 3 of my 4 fantasy teams, and that
That's
was very
that's
annoying.
not just,
What?
that's also partially the drafter. How you get AJ Brown on 3 teams? You must like the guy.
Well, I
Because
mean,
I guarantee you could have switched
he's
it up
done
at some
he's
point.
done me right in the past, and I think I made it to some finals and maybe even won one. Thank you. So the owner knows what he's doing a little bit.
Was AJ Brown the reason for that?
I ain't say he's the reason, but he wasn't. I mean, he was on a winning team. So hey,
Man, Kenny
um,
Pickett has a Super Bowl ring. Just because you're on a winning team don't mean
brother,
you good.
brother, how did you fare this year in fantasy?
I made the playoffs in every league.
Okay, but is your goal to make the playoffs or
I
your goal
got first place, third place.
in which league? The Euro League, your Canadian football league?
I just want to understand, as an 18-year-old child, mind you, why
Mercy.
I'm getting disrespected for the leagues that
Now
I'm
you
in.
want to play the
I get
champ.
put in a league with my friends that they invited me to, and I went in there and I
You
put
know that's the
belt
Pee
to
Wee
butt.
League playing with your
Excuse me.
little
It's the Pee
high
Wee
school
League, and that's why I
chums.
came in there and dominated it and didn't lose. So if I would have got third place, and I'm trying to talk about that, that's when you talk to me. I won the league. I did what I was supposed to do.
Well, you've been trained well to win in the Pee Wee League.
Oh goodness.
So how did you? Okay, so your number one league though is your mom's family league,
Mm-hmm.
and who won that league?
I actually don't know because I got mad after Romo Dunze was injured and I lost.
I know who won that league.
Who won it?
Your mom won, aka me.
I was gonna say you wanna fix that.
Well, it's her team. You made the playoffs there too?
Yes.
Okay, good. I mean, I give you props. You are very good. You are very good at fantasy. You're not immaculate, but you're very good. And you have your strategy, and I can respect it. I have my strategy, but you don't respect it.
I have a question.
What
year did you start playing fantasy football?
Oh man. Probably it's like 06, probably.
That gives you, this will be your 20th year playing fantasy football. I started in 2020. This will be my 6th year playing fantasy football. You can't compare apples to lemons, my guy. Like you can give
call it a lemon.
You want to give, but if we stack up your first 6 years of fantasy to my first 6, I'm pretty sure they'd be pretty similar.
They might.
Mine might even be better.
It might. You are.
So I'm just saying how you be like, hey, I'm on a winning team. Thank you very much. Well, I'd hope
so.
I think Greg Popovich.
No, I think what it is like you can't respect my style of managing and the expectations that I have for my players. Even though I respect, like I know you are really good. I'll tell anybody you have a good fantasy IQ, and you watch college and you know the pros. You know a lot, but and we have been co-managers and we have won together.
Mm-hmm.
Have we not?
Yeah. And
okay,
who was labeled in the recap of our fantasy team? You know who they labeled as the MVP of that team?
Who?
Jamar Chase.
Okay.
And Lamar Jackson.
But that's why. Okay, so when we do,
we had Lamar, Derrick Henry, and Jamar Chase.
Okay, so when we are co-managers together, Nathan is in charge of drafting. I am in charge of in-season moves and acquisitions. So free agencies, trades, and things of that nature. So Nathan wanted Jamar Chase. I wanted Justin Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Yeah, that is 100% correct.
Okay, well, I'm glad we went with you. That's why you are the draft guru, because Jefferson was no fault of his, and every fault of what's the boy name from Michigan? JJ McCarthy. Good gravy. JJ made Justin Jefferson an obsolete player in fantasy. That's just the truth. And they got Kyler Murray now, so that should be a lot better. Anyway, as I was saying, You have a good you have a good pedigree in fantasy, and can you acknowledge that I do as well?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That's all I wanted to hear.
With-
Because
here's what I feel like gets on my nerves is that you give me credit. I don't talk about myself to want credit. Like, I don't care if you give me credit or not. It feels like you want the credit. And I'm like, man,
no,
get out of
that,
my face with this.
no, is that you have this little smug air about yourself with fantasy, like just play this person or just do, and or when I have expectations for my tight ends to do better, to do what they actually was projected to do. You and I always butt heads on. You feel like I have unrealistic expectation for my players, but
Yes, my issue isn't that you have them, it's that you have them publicly. And I'm like, man, I don't need to hear you talking about I wish my tight end had 18 instead of 14. Mind you, my tight end sitting here with 9.
well, if my tight
You
end
don't
was
hear me say a
projected,
word.
if my tight end was projected to put up 19 or 20, forgive me for wanting them to get close to their projections. I mean, but anyways,
If Jalen Brunson averages 30 and he has a game where he has 25, you're not going to complain about 25.
Well, you know why? Because basketball isn't football, and basketball play games daily. Football is one game a Sunday, or Thursday, or Monday, or whatever day of the week they have now. So it's very crucial.
If Jalen Brunson averages 31 on the season and averaged 25 for the entire week, you wouldn't complain. You would just be like, that was an off week.
But anyway, Nathan, like I know, Kelsey giving you 10 points versus 15 can be the difference of going to the next round in the playoffs. Am I right or wrong?
Man,
correct.
Any move can be the deciding factor.
But I'm just saying though, I think sometimes fantasy need to adjust those projections, even though you say I don't pay attention to it. We do, because it gives you an idea of what you can expect for your team. So if your projection is like, oh, you're going to put up 115 and then you put up 85, you're going to be salty. And then who's the perpetrator?
You remember when we lost in the playoffs in PZ's league because you played Kelsey over DJ Moore and Quentin Johnston after I told you to play either one of them over Kelsey?
I played Kelsey and who?
You played Kelsey and Goddard.
Yes.
I told you start Goddard.
No, I texted you to ask you to edit the team.
But you didn't see
my text.
But we had talked before this, and you said between the tight ends, who would you play, Goddard or Kelsey? I said Goddard. Done. Okay. You said okay, cool. And you said who would you play at flex? I said DJ Moore. You said what about Kelsey? I was like I'm not a fan.
Well, we had somebody else in the lineup, and then they got hurt or something.
It was Kincaid. Yes, it was Kincaid, and Kincaid got hurt. And my fallback was a receiver and not Kels, and you wanted Kels.
Well, how did that do us?
And we ended up losing that matchup by 4 points. Oh. Kelsey gave us 1.6.
Man, if Kelsey brothers are listening.
DJ Moore dropped 21. Quentin Johnston dropped 22.
Knowing you, did you look to see for the next round if we would have won or lost?
Oh no, we would have got smacked up. Our entire team was horrible. AJ Brown put up 11. Devontae Smith put up 4. Brian Thomas 7. James Cook 8. Jameer Gibbs 6.
Then therefore,
everybody was single digits.
But
I think that
there's no need to relive.
No, but
past decisions.
I think that finishing 4th is a lot better than 6th.
Okay, well, I don't disagree with that. But the goal is to not finish 4th. The goal is to win.
Yeah, and how do you win? You make it to the next round, and we couldn't even get to that next round.
Anyways. All right, well. Okay. Anything you want to ask me? Where this guy go?
What's that? You know what that is?
No.
What? You know 2 squared?
Okay, we're done.